Is Among Us dead? Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video here on the Game Craze channel. Among Us. It seemed to be one of the games that ruled them all for a time. As simple as it was genius, it was one of the most pro-social, anti-social games ever made. You needed friends whom you love and trust, but only so you could subsequently betray them by gleefully stabbing them in the back. Indeed, Among Us made for great TV, which is one of the reasons it was picked up by the mainstream audience. Years after its initial release, it became one of the most popular games in the world for a time. What better story could there be for a charming little game like Among Us? Years spent collecting dust in the same dimly lit corner as the Steam store, serving as respectable but modest audience, only to seemingly be chosen out of nowhere by the gaming gods and thrust above all games. It was wild, phenomenal, watching Among Us soar through chart after chart to outdo venerable colossi like League of Legends, Fortnite, and COD. It was a story as compelling as its bare-bones mechanics, and millions flocked to the game in the time of lockdowns and quarantines. But the scale feels like more little empty these days, doesn't it? You can actually get into a top room on the first page now. Is something going on? Is Among Us dying? Is Among Us dying in 2021? Well, the answer is a bit more complicated. Let's just say yes or no and move on to explaining. Among Us is now a shadow of its former self. After an explosive run at the absolute heights of popularity, no longer the reigning champion of Twitch and Steam, as of July 2020, few had heard of Among Us. Almost 2 years since its initial release, the game's concurrent player peak record was approximately 6,700 on Steam. 2 months later, it copped out at almost 440,000 for September. Streamers had come to realize that good content wasn't just good games, it was good TV. And what makes better TV than one based on deceit, lies, betrayal, murder, and suspense? Nothing. Couple that with the fact that the game was available for free on mobile with a cross-platform player pool, and everyone stuck at home, searching for ways to hang out from afar, and boom, you've got a mega hit like the likes of which are rarely seen. Among Us' almost unthinkable success was a mixture of solid gameplay, streamer support, circumstances, and bona fide fun. And it rode that mix to the top of the Twitch directory too, where it stood at well over 500,000 viewers for 3 golden months in September, October, and November. Number 1. Beyond even the likes of just chatting channels and Goliath titles like Valorant, League of Legends, Minecraft, and Fortnite. Nowadays, Among Us stats are a far cry from that wild ride. The game started steadily shedding average Steam players in November, falling from the 174,000-ish the month before to just over 110,000-ish. Still a wild number, and currently sits at about 50,000 for the last 30 days. The same goes for Twitch, where Among Us now stands at the 20th place in the directory with about 42,000 viewers at the same time of this writing. Altogether, if we're using Twitch and Steam charts as a metric, Among Us is down almost 90% from its peak, an absolute earth-shattering plummet. But that doesn't mean Among Us is dying. Let's remember a game that you all played just 4 short years ago. A little game by the name of Pokemon Go. Do you remember when the streets were awash in the Pokemon trainers of all ages, quitting jobs, skipping school, running into traffic, while their brains did the backstroke in a pool of pure, unadulterated nostalgia? We do. For a few months, it seemed you couldn't have a conversation about anything without Pokemon Go finding its way to wheedle into it. Governments were trying to ban it, and schools were formulating policies to combat it. The game was a full-blown cultural phenomenon, and then, as quickly as it rose, it seemingly vanished. There was a very spitting image of Among Us, and fitting too, that the closest comparison of the game that ushered many of us through a large portion of these extended lockdowns, with everyone trapped inside, was the game that got millions of gamers outside again. Our vitamin D deprived skins soaking up the sunlight like solar panels, while underworked calves grimaced in agony. All those were simpler times back then, good times. But here's the thing. Pokemon Go never died, not by a long shot. In fact, 2019 was reportedly Pokemon Go's best year ever, making even more money than it did the year of its cultural phenomenon. Yeah, and you probably don't know of anybody who will openly admit to playing it anymore, but people are. And while Among Us might be down 90% in terms of popularity, few games on Steam or on Twitch ever get remotely close to the upper echelon of gaming popularity, let alone smash through the city of gates and steal the crown. Even a fraction of Among Us momentarily explosion is popular enough to make an effective game viable. While the new console's launching in November, alongside giants like Assassin's Creed, and then hyped to the gills Cyberpunk 2077, a downturn in popularity was downright assured. New updates coming soon. Among Us developers InnerSloth have a new update on the way, and ahead of that update's release, we've gotten a new look at part of it. The tease shared in July 2021 showed off some artwork associated for the next update with players, left to speculate what might be coming to the game in the future. No release date yet for this update has been announced, however, so it's unclear just how these players will theorize about updates' contents. The preview shared on Twitter this month showed one of the Among Us crewmates either floating in space or looking out of a window. In front of them is a source of the crewmates' concern, an object that sure looks like it could be a meteor or some other large object soaring through space. Meteor guesses were common enough in the replies to the tweet, and it seems like to be one more likely answer for what the object might be. Despite there being numerous suggestions that the cheese related, it seems that's not going to be the case, so we're back to meteors as a safe bet. Whether it's a meteor or something else, we can probably take a look at the most recent Among Us roadmap to guess what kinds of features might be associated with this teaser. The list of features planned for the game found below was shared with the release window at some point after the update was released that expanded the size of lobbies and added new colors. Since that update has been out for a while now, any of these could come next, since InnerSloth said these features would be releasing in no particular order. Upcoming Among Us features: a new map, Map 5, achievements, account linking between platforms, new roles and a way to play, hide and seek mode, visor cosmetics, consoles, Xbox and PlayStation. Of these possibilities, a new map seems like it'd be the most likely answer, but Among Us airship map have been out for a terribly long time, so there's reason to believe that we might not get another map so soon. InnerSloth will likely share more teasers ahead of the update's release, so perhaps players will be able to deduce what's coming from those before the full details of the update are revealed. To put things in perspective, Among Us is still number-wise rubbing shoulders with Destiny 2, Ark Survival Evolved, and Cyberpunk 2077. Big games on their own with healthy player bases to speak of. There's no depth of community when it comes to any of those games, two of which happen to be open world multiplayer, so Among Us in reality nowhere is close to dead nor is it dying. So if you still enjoy pretending to help your friends before heinously slaughtering them in the shadowy recess of spacious XO bases, fret not. Among Us will have plenty of action and updates from years to come. InnerSloth has a valuable and profitable IP on their hands that'll experience a further EBB and flow in popularity as new content is added as the game naturally evolves. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future.